Hey, Claudia in Carson, California. Seymour Betta here at freeprescriptionlenses.com. Please call me Mo. And right now I'm going to show you how I cut your prescription transition signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Avance for your new Versace 3240 in the color GB1, which is the classic shiny black with gold, and the 52 eye size. So let's go ahead and take everything out of the original packaging. Of course, your Italian leather Versace case, your Versace info with junk mail just because you don't get enough in there. Of course, your certificate of authenticity, your international warranty, put all that back in there for you. And now the star of the show, the main attraction, the Versace, of course, hang on, I'm stalling you, your Versace cleaning cloth with the Versace logo. That's hard to tell because of the shiny plastic. We put that on there. And now this is it, the star of the show, the frame. Of course, it comes with a little plastic sleeve on the temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it is being shipped from Italy. And I will include that when I ship to you. And of course, Versace made in Italy. Hopefully my camera picks that up. It's hard to see white print on the inside of a gold frame. But this is the Versace 3240 in the color GB1 in the 52 eye size. Hopefully the camera will see that. I do not know, I cannot see that, but this is a nice frame, classic black and gold. It is not bling, but it's just the way the metal is carved to give it such a high luster gloss on there. Of course, you got the Medusa emblem on each temple. Nice frame. So let me get this started so I can get this mailed out to you immediately. Of course, it comes with a Versace emblem on one lens, or the logo. I'm gonna pop out your original demo lenses, and of course you're gonna get all of this when I ship to you. I'm going to put your frame into the tracing element of my blocker. Whoops, come on now. And hit start. A little stylus is going to pop up and it's going to go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Versace frame and you'll receive 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase whether they are prescription or not. Claudia, you know you need prescription. So that is the outline. That green outline is the shape we'll be cutting. I will minify it so you can see the shape that it is. Let me go ahead and magnify again while I'm working on it. Your pupillary distance for your eyes is 60, divided in 2 is 30. And I'm going to raise the optical center up 3 millimeters for this frame because you'll be looking through the top quadrant. So I want to raise, just like the crosshairs of the scope, I measure vertically and horizontally to make sure everything is perfect in front of you. So let me come down here and we'll get your lenses prepped. Your right eye reads -1 1/4 sphere. So I don't have to turn the axis wheel. Your lens is spherical, meaning that it doesn't matter which way it goes in there. You're going to see just the same. So let me zero everything out, turn it to -1 1/4. This is the lens, -1 1/4. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve. Little laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens while it's being shipped to me so nothing rubs against the front convex surface of the lens. I'm going to take that off, throw that there, and put the lens in. Find the optical center, the geometric center of the lens, and put a dot on there. And actually I only need 1 dot. And there it is. Where's the pen? Where's the pen? I think they all ended up down here today. Here's one. We put a dot on the center of that lens, and that is the right lens. Let's do the same thing. In fact, let me mark right. These are, I like doing it in red. That is the right lens. That is your power, -1 1/4, and these are the transition 7 gray lenses with Crizal Avance. That way you know you're receiving the original packets once you see me write on them. So let's do the same thing for the left. -50 sphere, -50 sphere. Take the lens out of the packet, take the laminate off, to the power drum on -50. Put the lens in, find the... Normally you would see me rotate until the sphere power comes in, but you have the same sphere power on the entire lens. Your prescription is a piece of cake. I wish everyone's was as easy as yours. Yours is very easy until you get the bill. Then it's very difficult, very difficult. No, all prescriptions are free. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to put an L on here, which is Latin for not right. And if you missed any of that, let me recap. Oh, you know I couldn't get away without using that bad joke in the video. So, minus 50 sphere. Again, transition signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Avance. And this is the left lens. So we're going to come back down here. Come on down, come on down, come on back down, come on down with me. Come on, Claudia. So I'm going to put your right lens onto the platform. This is a block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. I like to call him Jenny from the block. I need to attach a double-sided adhesive sticker on there. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick this onto the first block. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side. Oops. Come on, stick on there, stick on there. Don't you be coming off. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. On the back is a little silver button. That's a magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time it's going to attach itself to something magnetical there in the arm. So I'm going to place that there. Now, the reason why I put that dot on there, the blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that in inset. So I'm going to put that black dot right there. Check one thing. Oh yeah, this lens is easily large enough. Sorry, just shop talk. I always like to see. And I'm going to hit that button. The arm comes down and places the block onto the right lens. Let's do the same thing now for the left. Yeah, okay, so it mirrors it. Same pupillary distance. 60 divided by 2 is 30, so I flipped it over. We're doing 30. Same optical center height of 23. Let me write that down. Place the lens onto the platform, pull the paper away to make the black side sticky, line up the magnet into the arm there, place that dot right there in the center. Where's my stylus? There it is. Hit the button, the arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter, then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy anymore to do it for you. So, the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. This whole assembly is going to move to the center when it's cutting. This is just the retracted position. This wheel on the far right with that white residue on there, this is the diamond tipped cutting wheel. That's going to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel, so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Now, let's see. Yeah, okay. So now the magnet is going to do its job a second time. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Yeah, I know. You're sick of those jokes. Well, look, if you can think of a funnier joke, write it down on a $100 bill and mail it to me, and I'll read it on the air. So I'm going to wake the computer up. That is the shape that we will be cutting. Okay, the shape that I'll be cutting. All right, the shape that the machine will be cutting while I'm running my mouth. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that. I do not want to polish the edge of your lenses because they're not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is starred in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame on the first go around. You can see is just tracing out the shape, and then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the best cosmetic look possible. I could move the bevel forwards or backwards if I needed to, but with your prescription you're not going to have any edge thickness in this plastic frame. Now the cutting wheel is moved to the center. If you see light flickering in the background, that is water to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Now water will spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle to wash away any optical debris that you see beginning to form on the edge of the lens now. So, as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. These are the Essilor brand of Transition Signature 7 Transition Airwear. They call it polycarbonate airwear because these are as light as air. Again, the Roman numeral 7 and GY for gray with Crizal Avance. But polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that have to be reapplied every couple hours in direct exposure to the sun, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now I'll demonstrate the transitions portion of the lens later, but the Crizal anti-glare is 3 features in one. The first feature is it eliminates glare when driving at night, but also reduces glare from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead, fluorescent lights, and the such. The second feature, it's an anti-reflective coating. So it goes by the initials ARC. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. So it makes for much better eye contact. Also, if you take a selfie or someone else takes a picture with a flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens. You'll see just your eyes. Now, the third feature that I like, which is the practical side, is that the machine that applies the Crizal anti-glare coating costs over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 7 different coatings onto the lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating onto the lens to protect your time and investment. So this little lever has come out. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, something you would find on a Dremel tool. That's just smoothing out the rear surface of the lens. Should any portion of this lens protrude back onto the cheek, this will be nice and smooth. But of course, you won't have any thickness. I will now open this door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. You don't believe me? It just takes a couple hours. I just got to keep staring at it. Think positive thoughts. Okay, so let's see if it fits first time around. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outside corner. Move over the table here. Press down with my thumbs. It's still live. It does not want to fit, so I'm going to take it down 1/10 of a millimeter. 1/10. Oops, I better put this in before I hit retouch. Now, retouch. Instead of going onto the cutting wheel, the lens just goes back onto the bevel wheel. I'm going to take 1/10 of a millimeter off, going all the way around the circumference of the lens until it snaps in easily. I don't want to force the lens in there. If I were to force it, it would cause the frame to stretch, or what I refer to as rolling. If you can imagine your frame being a gutter, if the lens were too large, the bottom of the frame would roll outwards, giving you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. Now, a lot of other people use these glass beads to heat up the frame and make the plastic a little bit more pliable. You can do that too. I like to do what's known as the cold mount. I don't use heat to mount any lens because, again, I feel that can somewhat stretch the frame. I only use this when I adjust the temples for people to bend them down or loosen them if it's too loose or too tight. So I'll stick with the cold mount. I do keep this. These are just polished glass beads, and essentially what is a miniature crock pot where it stays warm. But I don't like using it on the front of the frame. I ship every pair of lenses. I personally cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide. So you want a perfectionist like me cutting your lenses. The first one, the right lens, takes a little bit longer. Once we get the size just right, we'll flip it over and cut the left on size. So again, I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner first. Using my thumbs, I press down. Now the lens snaps into the way it's supposed to. So we're going to flip that over to L. Put the lens in there, into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby. And then hit start. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. And then the 2 white styluses are going to trace each side of the lens simultaneously, going around making sure that it's large enough to fit. And then, as always, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Of course, like I said, you have no edge thickness whatsoever. Perfect look in this frame. So that's because I only use the thinner, lighter weight lenses. So we're going to come back here to the lensometer. I'm going to put it in just over that dot. I do not have to check the axis wheel because your lenses are spherical. You have no astigmatism whatsoever. I just want to read the power, and I'm getting -1 1/4. So the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0, going up in quarter increments from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4. So you need 5 steps of nearsighted correction. Farsighted, excuse me. You are nearsighted without your glasses on. Everything you look at is much too large. That's why there's a minus sign. Your lenses minify to make everything the correct size. So without your glasses on, 1 inch is actually going to be longer than an inch. Isn't that crazy? Then you put your glasses on and it will minify down to the correct size. Now, had you had any astigmatism correction, astigmatism is what makes 6's and 8's look alike, of the letters P and F. So once it's the correct size, we take away the fuzzy edges and fine-tune things. And we fine-tune them to the correct axis, but you don't have any of that. So if this were a ladder, you're on the 5th rung of a ladder for your right eye. Your left eye, you only need 2 steps of farsighted correction. So, of course, this frame, the Versace 3240, sells for $265, of which you get 1 pair of free prescription lenses when you buy the frame. It was $54.99 to upgrade to transitions. It was another $44.99 to upgrade to Crizal Avance, and the total was $364.98. Pretty good price for this frame with Essilor polycarbonate unbreakable bulletproof lenses, bulletproof up to 22 caliber, which, you know, people laugh about, but I've had so many people write me that when they've been near someone who's mowing or weed eating, it threw a rock up and it hit their lens. And true, it scratched their lens, but their eye was safe. I had a guy in England who was mowing in his yard, and one of his kids had a metal tent peg that he mowed, and it literally made his mower explode and metal flew up, hit him in his glasses, and his doctor told him the only reason he still has an eye is because he was wearing my lenses. And the craziest part is, his are non-prescription. If you go through my videos and you Google cheap bastard or David in Manchester, he's gotten several pair from me, but he likes to wear non-prescription fashion lenses in his frames, and those non-prescription glasses saved his eye. So how lucky is that? So, I see a little bit of optical sawdust on the back I want to clean off. So that's it. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner using my thumbs. It snaps right in. Let's go ahead and take this block off. Come down here, we're going to measure the power just above that black dot, which is your pupillary distance. And I'm getting -50, exactly halfway between 0 and 1. So your pupillary distance is 60, 30 in each eye. I'm going to flip the card over, and which is essentially the optical centers. Where did my PD stick go? Is this the one I'm using? Oh, that's it, my red one. That's the one I like. Blue is backup. You think I would use blue all the time, but it's easier for you to see the white on the, well, we can do both. But I'm going to hold my PD stick up against your right lens, and when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 60 millimeters. So you tell me, which one is easier to see? There's that one, and now there's that one. Which one's easier to read the 60 on, blue or red? Can I turn this one upside down? So you're going to measure over here on this side this time. Blue or red, which one's easier to see? I know, you just want to wear your glasses. Okay, I don't blame you. Okay, so this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I explain that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the United States, and Carson, California is still in the United States, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people, I just want to clean these a little bit more. Some of these lenses have such great anti-slip protection on the lenses for cutting. I just want to clean all of that residue off. But because 80% of the population has one ear that's higher than the other, because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. Oops, sorry, let me make sure you can see all this. I apologize, I can't watch what you guys are watching. It's always in focus for me. You know, I don't know what the problem is with you guys. So just stop by your local optical shop and tell them if it's too loose or too tight or too high on one side. They'll know what to do. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses properly. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. Flip them over, press down, there is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure there's the same amount of tension on each hinge and that they overlap perfectly and neither one is askew. So that is that. This is what they look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and let me go ahead and clean them one last time. So when you get this in the mail, you're going to have, not only do I give instructions on how to clean your frame and lenses, but how to also care for your cleaning cloth and your case so it may last you forever. You're getting the Versace cleaning cloth. Oops. You're getting the Crizal cleaning cloth, and you're getting one of my own premium microfiber cleaning cloths. And I field test every one to make sure that they work. So when you get these in the mail and it's wrinkled, you know that it works. I don't want to send out a defective cloth. So that is what your lenses look like while they are still clear. I'm going to go ahead and expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. All this is a whole bunch of those high intensity LED lights. Let me hit that button, you will see them start to glow. So I'm going to expose your lenses to that. As you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken when you go outside. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now this is important, Claudia, pay attention. All transition lenses will darken on day one. They will continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks they're exposed to the sun. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield blocks the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays from when your car bakes in the sun all day, so your dashboard doesn't crack or your upholstery doesn't rot. That's why your lenses don't turn dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. Now, as soon as you step out of the car, they will also darken then. Now, they're temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when they're 95 and above. But I'll remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, your glasses are miserable. Nothing works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So, this is the first time they have been activated. Don't worry, they're going to keep getting darker every day for the first 2 weeks. Come on, Claudia, we talked about that. Don't you remember? But that's it. If anyone has any questions, you can email me, CMoreBeta. Again, call me Mo at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. Claudia in Carson, California. Hope you enjoyed watching as I cut transitions gray lenses with Crizal Avance for your Versace. Here's the best way to see it. Oop, that's not even the right box. Your Versace 3240 color GB1, which is black with gold temples and the 52 eye size. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Now that's Mo Beta.